Your career, what is the difference between the first fight and the second fight?
The difference between the first fight, if you won the first fight, you have to come back and had to work a little bit harder because it's obvious a rematch because the fans and the people thought it was something different from the first fight. So some may think that it was a very, very exciting fight or a very, very close fight. So that's why you guys fight in the rematch.
I almost felt when you had rematches, you came out and really wanted to make a statement, so to speak, when it comes to going ahead and making more of an impression. You won, obviously, you're undefeated in your career, but that second fight, you really wanted to come out and just prove without a doubt that the guy didn't even belong in the ring with you.
Absolutely. Actually, one of the guys I had a rematch with is here tonight, Chino Madonna. Tough competitor, tough chin, and the will to win.
No question about it. Right now we have Ali Balоев and Kурейш Sagov matching up. Gotta love watching these youngsters go at it. There's a right hand that connected by Sagov.
Yes, but in the sport of boxing today, what I see is a lot of fighters making a lot of mistakes. As far as learning the fundamentals, boxing is not always about the knockouts. In the beginning of my career, of course, for the first probably 10 years, I was a knockout artist, but then the great thing was me being a defensive fighter, I wasn't able to take punishment, so I was able to have a career of 20-something years.
Well, you have a doctorate degree when it comes to the sport of boxing.
Yes.
You really demonstrated that it was a sweet science inside the squared circle.
Yes. Right here in this fight right here, even like these guys in the rematch, hopefully the guy in the white learned from the first fight. He has to do something different.
Yeah, Balоев is really wanting to get back that win.
So in the first fight, if I'm not mistaken, the guy's 8-0 and the other guy is 12-1. So
yes.
This is the guy that he lost to.
Exactly.
So I think he has to be a little bit more aggressive in this fight.
Well, it's one of those things, as you mentioned, that you have to take it to the guy that you beat to, make sure that you don't necessarily leave any doubt in the judge's eyes.
Well, it looks like he's doing a lot of weightlifting, which is not really good for fighters.
I mean, to my knowledge, and I watched you train several times at the Mayweather Boxing Club in Las Vegas, I don't ever remember you picking up a lot of weights. I just saw you doing massive amounts of cardio and just in on the bags and doing boxing work.
Well, I did a lot of, push-ups, sit-ups. But in boxing today, even like Anthony Joshua, his frame looks unbelievable when he go out there and fight. But sometimes weights can slow a fighter up. So I'm not really one that's too fond of a fight lifting weights.
Well, obviously you went ahead and it worked for you, and you're right. It's about, being fluid and mobile and, just executing your punches and being able to last 12 rounds.
Absolutely.
Попал хорошо. Вот это повтори еще раз, и все будет.
They don't really worry about the audience. Their focus is streams in different views. So that's where the revenue comes at now in the sport of boxing. Views and streams.
When you try to impart your knowledge upon the younger generation, we are now into the third round when it comes to Ali Balоев and Kурейш Sagov. What do you like to tell them?
No, this is the second round.
Second round, beg your pardon. But what do you like to tell the younger fighters in terms of what they can do to really, move forward and how they can better their careers?
I tell them, don't look at Money Mayweather. Look at Pretty Boy Floyd. Whereas I worked extremely hard and it wasn't about the money until I got to a certain point. We can never put no value you know, on our lives when we going out there risking our lives. So, I mean, you try to get what you can get when you're going out there risking everything.
Well, I mean, I go back to when you went your first pay-per-view event. As we continue with the action here, you went to the backyard of Arturo Gatti, and
Yes.
you were at that point. You're like, look, I don't care that A side, B side don't matter to me. I'll fight him in his backyard. I'll beat him. And you went ahead and handled business and did something that nobody's been able to do to the late great Arturo Gatti.
Well, I don't want to take anything away from Arturo Gatti, tough competitor. And at that particular time, I was young. So as you get older, you look at things in a total different way. When I was young, of course, I didn't have a Floyd Mayweather to guide me in the right way, but I did have an Al Haymon. And once Al Haymon got into my life, it was a truly blessing. You know, Al Haymon's in the sport of boxing right now. I mean, he's one of the best things that ever happened to the sport of boxing, along with myself and other legends and people that paved the way for the sport of boxing. Guys like Don King, we have to take our hat off to Don King. We have to take our hat off to guys like Bob Arum. There's so many guys that paved the way and helped the sport of boxing. So I'm just happy for those guys that helped me get to where I'm at today.
Well, I think it's fair to say that you took control of your career alongside, you know, Al Haymon, and obviously the rest is history.
But Al, me and him working together just day in and day out, we had a game plan. And it's all about having a game plan, even like watching this fight right here. As you can see.
Sagov is the one. He was victorious over Baliev in the first fight, and he seems to be pushing the issue. As you mentioned, Baliev is slowing down a little bit.
We talked about lifting weights. Lifting weights, a lot of times, it makes the body look good, but it slows fighters down.
It's all about that cardiovascular and that endurance. Big right hand there that landed by Sagov. And Sagov doesn't look like he's been hitting the weights as much as Baliev has, and he landed a big right hand there. It seems there's a left hook that backed up, that wobbled Baliev. Baliev's hurt. Final moments of the round.
I don't think this fight is wobbled. Just from my experience and from what I see. He's fatigued, and this is only the second round.
That is the end of the second. Did you know as a fighter, I mean, I felt like you had this like sixth sense in the ring. Did you know when a guy was starting to suck wind a little bit and when he was tired?
I got so much experience at the highest level, more experience than anybody in the history at the highest level. It's like second nature to me. I knew what I was doing, I knew what I wanted, and I had the right team. You know, I didn't know it all. And the great thing about my career is I listen. A lot of fighters win a title, or they can be 16-0, 24-0. Doesn't mean you don't have to listen. I still listen to my Uncle Roger, may he rest in peace. Still listen to my dad. Listen to the older people that knows a lot about the sport of boxing.
Well, and also, it is just, you know, you mentioned, you know, your late great, you know, Uncle Roger, and, you know, you mentioned, you know, your father as well, but you always have been embedded in the sport of boxing since a youngster.
My whole life.
It was always like, you know, it was always a big thing with you and growing up through the amateurs in Flint, Michigan.
Yes. No,
Grand Rapids, I think.
Grand Rapids. It don't matter, any part of Michigan. You know, I got to show love to the whole state of Michigan. They supported me from day one, and they're still supporting me, even with my exhibitions.
Well, and also, even, you know, now you have, you know, Las Vegas as your adopted hometown, with the right hand over the top, and obviously you brought the biggest names and the biggest events in the history of the sport came to Las Vegas.
Yes, well, you know, 3 of the biggest fights, me and Oscar, me and Canelo, me and Pacquiao, and me and Conor. Those are 4 biggest fights in history.
And do you think, you know, when it comes to hardcore boxing, that they're trying to create sort of that atmosphere that, you know, you had in your fights in Las Vegas, but over in this part of the world?
Well, the Hardcore Boxing League, I've been working with them for a long time, a lot behind the scenes. And like I always speak about, just because you don't see my name, just because you don't see the Mayweather name, Mayweather Promotions, doesn't mean that I'm not involved. No different from PBC. A lot of times you can't say that I'm signed to PBC or I'm working with PBC and I'm not working with Floyd Mayweather. So I'm involved in so many different boxing companies that I don't talk about.
Right, I feel like you're a lifer and you love it and you eat it and you breathe it. You know, even now, I've never seen you. I've known you for well over a decade.
Yeah.
I've never seen you out of shape a day in my life.
I just love giving back to the sport of boxing. It's all about giving back to the sport of boxing. And a lot of times, when you give certain criticism to fighters, they call it jealousy. I'm not jealous of fighters. I just want the best for these fighters. So, and we got so many big fights coming up with so many young fighters and so many fighters that it is established. A lot of great bouts coming up soon.
Well, you mentioned about a guy that you mentored. I mean, Gervonta Davis has got Ryan Garcia lined up. There's a big right hand there by Balloev, and Balloev, maybe the power got to Sagoff there. He got that second win.
And they was wrong.
Now he's coming out and swinging for the fences. I don't know if you're a baseball fan, Floyd, but it's like a power hitter. You know, it takes a couple of swings, goes down a little bit, and then comes back and hits a big hit. Now his confidence grows. Look at this. Balloev pushing the issue there on Sagoff. Sagoff now is the one initiating the exchange or trying to hold.
You got to put it all to the line. Part two.
That's the end of the round.
Yes.
But when it comes to some of these upcoming fights, what are some that you're looking forward to? Next week we have Caleb Plant, David Benavidez.
Yes.
You have Tank and Ryan Garcia. I mean, you fought everybody in your era. I mean, literally, it was like, you fought. But people don't. When people talk about your career, I look at 2007, if I'm correct, when you fought De La Hoya in May, and then you fought Ricky Hatton in December. I mean, like, what? I mean, I think that's great for the sport of boxing that we're seeing these massive fights happen, back-to-back months in many aspects.
I'm just so proud of these fighters. We got Tank and Ryan, Benavidez, Plant, exciting boxing.
Would you say, I think Benavidez and Plant is a 50-50 fight, given your honest assessment? What do you think in terms of that?
I mean, anything can happen in the sport of boxing. You can never overlook an opponent. Plant, he can box. When Benavidez fought Ron Gaval the first time, I think it was a lot closer. They gave it to him. Could have been a draw, could have went to Ron, but Benavidez is unbelievable talent, very aggressive. He want to fight Canelo. That's the fight that he wants. If he continued to win, continue to look good, and continue to go out there and beat everybody that's put in front of him, he'll get the fight.
Well, one thing that you were always so masterful in when it comes to your fights, and this is what people don't realize, especially when you get that main event status. We got Jarrell Miller, Lucas Brown later tonight. Inside the ring, we got Ali Balloev and Kurish Sagov. Is that ring walk, all the demands of being in Las Vegas with your name on the marquee, you were so masterful at it. I don't know if you did yoga, Floyd, or how you calmed your nerves, but you always rose to the occasion. It never flustered you whatsoever. I'm not trying to ask you what your game plan was, but how did you maintain such composure?
I was built for that moment. And as we can see, he's I don't know how to pronounce these guys' names.
Balloev. Well, leave that to me.
No disrespect to these opponents. But I'm not good with pronouncing their names. But we got the blue corner, we got the red corner.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, right now in the blue corner, we have Ali Balloev, who's looking to get his victory. He lost to Kurish Sagov in his last matchup. And now it is the stronger fighter, the more well-defined fighter in Balloev, who's pushing the issue.
Yeah, he's proving me wrong.
Well, he did slow down, but he got cracked. Oh, boy. Wait a minute. Sagov pounces on him. He ate a right hand, and now Baliev is in some trouble. Now it's becoming a slugfest here.
Very exciting fight.
What an uppercut there by Sagov. Baliev's hurt. Sagov pouncing on him. They always say a fighter who's hurt's the most dangerous, but Baliev is in a world of trouble. Kурейш Сагов looking to finish off Ali Balоев. A left hook to the body. Languishing on the ropes. Oh, big right hand there. Right hand reminded me of the right hand you landed upon Canelo back in September of 2013.
No, Canelo's a hell of a fighter.
No, not saying it, but
These guys are warriors.
absolutely. What action here?
Me and Canelo are more guys with techniques.
These guys are just swinging for the fences. There is a right hand over the top by Baliev. Oh my goodness, he's almost out on his feet. Ali Baliev is almost out on his feet. Unbelievable action.
So I guess I may be right.
Floyd, anything and everything is possible in boxing,
Yeah, in the
as you
sport of
alluded
boxing,
to.
anything can happen.
Well, we're getting ready to come up on round number 5. Ray Floyd's Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd, I don't know what it is, but ever since you got in the broadcast booth, the action has intensified.
I don't want to say that, but I want to say congratulations to you. You've been doing a remarkable job for so many years. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work and be the best that you can be.
Что? Он? Нет. Все, подышать, спокойно. Да, я прям выигрываешь, все отлично.
My first undercard in Las Vegas was Mayweather and Canelo, and sort of growing the way up. And again, I got to give my thanks to Al Heyman for the opportunity. But here we are, you and I, in Dubai, as we get ready for round number 5. Boy, this action is heating up, Floyd. I mean, you think it's going one way, then it goes back to the other way. The fans are excited here at the Agenda Arena in Dubai. Floyd, if you were a Sagov who had Baliev hurt, what would you try to do here in this 5th round?
What I would do is I'd take my time, slowly take my time. Use your jabs. He's using the jab right now. Use the jab to set up the big shots. He's just walking to him with his hands down, and he can get hit with a big shot. Remember, a guy is always dangerous when he's hurt. He's more dangerous when he's hurt.
There's a left hook connecting for Sagov. Well, when especially these heavier weight classes, as we see, Floyd, what it reminds me of is, one of the best fights I've ever seen was Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury #3. Fury had Wilder hurt, and Wilder comes out when you have a big punch like that and got the knockdown. So anything can happen, especially as you climb up to these heavier weight classes.
But what I talked about before is technique. You got to have you got to have a game plan. You got to go for the game plan before you get in. And you got to establish the game plan once you get inside that square circle.
Can you tell us about the importance? Because it looks like Baliev, who has been hurt, he's got blood on his trunks. He only has one game plan. When you fought, I felt like you had plan A, plan 1A, plan B, plan C, and you had different game plans or different methods of victory that you could go to if need be.
Well, I was blessed. I really was blessed all around the board. I don't really want to talk. I don't really want to brag or boast, but I come from a fighting family, so that played a major role. My dad was a top contender. He supposed to fought for the title, but he never did. my uncle, two-time world champion, and another uncle who fought a lot of top competitors. So I come from a fighting family. So just being able to box and work with my family, it gave me a little bit of edge, I should say.
Well, you obviously learned the craft very much so, and that's the thing when it comes to prize fighting. It is a fight, but there is a science, there's a craft behind what you guys do inside the ring.
We have another fighter coming. My grandson.
Your grandson's on his way.
Yes.
So how old is he? And I'm sure he's in the amateur system.
No, he's not in the amateur system. Yeah, but he's working. You guys got to go see him on social media. He's only 2, but he's working every day.
Only 2. My goodness. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
The Mayweather name going to be around for decades more.
Hopefully.
I mean, hey, at the route that you're going, who knows? Maybe if you're still doing these exhibitions in maybe 10 years, maybe he makes his pro debut on one of your exhibitions. That's possible.
Well, this year I have, I believe, 4 to 5 exhibitions.
Okay.
We're working on one big exhibition, so I want everybody to hold on tight.
Is it nice to sort of, when you go in, I know you love to compete, because if I stand corrected, when Gervonta Davis, we were in Atlanta, Gervonta fought Mario Barrios, knocked him out, and you were so excited and amped up that I saw you on Instagram running after that fight. We got out of there like 2 or 3 in the morning, and you went to go for a run for 2 or 3 miles. I look on your Instagram, I'm like, what's Floyd's doing running at 3 in the morning? I'm going to the airport to head to another show. You're going on running, but it's something that, like I said, I feel like you're always in shape and you love the sport so much.
Second down, round 6.
Health is your wealth. The fighters motivate me. So I do these exhibitions just to stay in shape. Push myself, stay in shape, and it keeps my weight down, and it keeps me just motivated.
Well, right now we are into the 6th round. I think we have Sagov has been the one who has, for the most part, had the majority of the control, but you cannot count out Ali Balоев, who's got a whale of a punch. I thought he was out on his feet a couple rounds ago, and he's shown his determination and his durability.
We talked about that. We talked about fighters being determined, wanting to win, extremely bad, and that's what's happening tonight.
Well, and this is just the start. Coming up later tonight, we have Jarrell Big Baby Miller, Lucas Big Daddy Brown, also a fight that I'm looking forward to. Jono Carroll matching up against Miguel Mariaga. Miguel Mariaga, 3-time world title challenger, looking to go ahead and upset Jono Carroll. Carroll also fought for the world title, losing to Tevin Farmer, so that'll be an interesting matchup. There's a right hand connecting by Ali Balоев. But we'll see in this 6th round if Balоев can pick up the pace. I think he needs to get a little bit busier, him being from the blue corner.
This fight is going back and forth, a little bit of back and forth. Very, very exciting. They're giving the fans what they want to see.
And we are just starting off the night here in Dubai. For those that are not in attendance here, there is a massive, they have adorned the outside of the arena with the special guests and the fighters on. So hardcore boxing doing a marvelous job, not only inside the ring, but outside the ring for the overall experience of the fans that come in attendance here.
Well, Hardcore Boxing League, they tend to steer towards the VIP. They want that VIP feeling when you come watch the fighters fight. Where the normal fights is just any and everybody comes. Hardcore Boxing League is more for the VIP.
There's a right hand connecting by Sagov. Sagov using his range, and he sat down on his punch, and that momentarily halted Ali Balоев. And quite a bit of VIPs in attendance here. Also, I know you mentioned about the champions. Antonio Tarver is in the house. Also, Roy Jones Jr., Marcos Maidana. Have you seen Marcos yet?
Yes,
Did you guys?
I've seen him earlier today and just seen just again in the back.
How was that like? I mean, I know you guys have mutual respect between each other. I mean, I remember those atmospheres in Las Vegas back in 2014.
Oh, it's no beef. We handled our business.
Oh, no doubt.
Twice.
There's a right hand by Balоев. Answering back is Sagov. I felt like that was a World Cup atmosphere when you guys fought. You had the Argentinians, your fans making noise. It went back and forth. But if you would have told me a couple rounds ago when Balоев was almost out on his feet, could barely make it to the corner, I thought the fight would have been over as we entered the 5th round, but I am sadly mistaken.
Well, I think he shot his load. Even though he had him hurt, he shot his load when he should have took his time and picked his shots.
It's not good enough just to come in with a lead right hand or telegraphing a power shot. In a clash of heads, they touch gloves, sign of respect between the two.
Blue corner still got a puncher's chance.
Balоев is no joke, and I've seen him all week, and he was in the gym working out and making sure he wanted to make sure his conditioning. I didn't see him hit any weights whatsoever. Probably saw him 3 or 4 times, Floyd, and he was always on the treadmill running and trying to get up his cardiovascular endurance. We're into the 7th round here in Dubai. Well, now we're seeing a little bit of a jab by Balоев out of the blue corner. So London was your last stop, Floyd. You're here in Dubai. Have you thought about any idea where the next exhibition might take place for you? You're going to go to Singapore? You're going to go to Australia?
Well, we have a few different places.
Okay.
We have South Korea.
All right. Love South Korea, by the way.
Germany. Australia.
All right.
America. There's one more place that I'm missing. I don't know.
Do you miss fighting in the United States, Floyd? I mean, this is the world tour.
We have one in the United States. It's not really a tour. I call it the heist tour. I made that up.
Okay, I love that.
And even like, my last exhibition in London. Well, my exhibition is a little bit different from when I was fighting. I don't have to train as hard, so it's different.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, you still come out and
yes.
You're in the locker room. I mean, that's something that is second nature to you. Getting ready to go and making that ring walk. I mean, how do the juices feel when you're making the ring walk for these exhibitions compared to that in your prize fighting days?
Well, even when I was fighting, it was just like a normal day. Just walk to the ring. I don't ever worry because my mentality always has been, what's going to happen is going to happen. There's nothing we can do.
Well, the one thing when it comes to your career and in various fights is that you were able to adapt, and that is something in prize fighting that you have to be able to do inside that ring.
Absolutely.
And right now, we're seeing that Balоев out of the blue corner is using his jab more. And I don't know if he heard you, Floyd, but he is using his jab a little bit more because the first few rounds he was just throwing power punches.
But when I talk about the jab, I'm talking about both fighters.
And it's interesting because Sagov now has gone to trying to find that big power shot instead of using his jab, which is what frustrated Balоев in the first place. As the round comes to a close.
One more round to go.
Well, there's some tense moments here in Dubai between these two. 8th and final round coming up. How's the Mayweather Boxing Club doing in Las Vegas? I mean, do you still pop in there every once in a while? What did you guys call it? Yes. The doghouse? I mean, are guys still in the doghouse?
Yes.
Going at it and battling and trying to prove their worth?
Some of the best fighters in the world has came to the Mayweather Boxing Club and boxed. I know you guys can look on the internet and see so many fighters box each other. and compete against each other and push each other. That's what it's all about.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 8th and final round.
So it is the 8th and final round, but you did such a good job of really allowing the cameras to come into your world because fans are so enamored with how a fighter prepares. I felt like you were, before social media really got big.
They say I built a fan base before social media, and I built a fan base before social media, and I was already big before social media. So when social media did arrive, I took it to that next level. So, you know, I'm the one that created 24/7. I'm the one that took All Access to the next level, meaning because All Access was created from 24/7, which I started.
Absolutely, and it is, you know, fans just love. I mean, I enjoy seeing what you guys have to go through.
Even like with the exhibitions, Floyd Mayweather started that. You know, mixing guys from other combat sports into boxing.
Was your first one when you had to go to Tokyo, if I'm correct? Was that your first one, or was that the second one when you fought Tenshin?
Well, we did. That was the first exhibition, but remember, the first mix was me and Conor McGregor.
Yeah, so I remember that being on that world tour. Oh my goodness. Boy, oh boy.
Unbelievable build-up.
Those press conferences, I mean, were something that, I mean, I don't think we will ever see anything to that degree. But right now, we have a battle at our hands inside the ring with Balоев and Sagov as they continue to match up in this 8th and final round. So when you get to that final round, Floyd, is it like, all right, I need to come out and really sort of leave my exclamation mark on the fight?
Well, not me, because most of the time when I get to the pro, I know I got the fight win. So I'm just boxing smart and being smart. Now, I'm pretty sure that the guy that's across the ring from me, he's going all out. He's looking for the knockout.
Going with a reckless abandon. Now, at this point, you would think that Ali Balоев out of the blue corner is the one that is trying to take off and knock down Sagov, because I think Sagov, and I'm not a judge by any means, I think he built enough of a lead up in the early part of the fight where Balоев had to come from behind, and I still think he's behind by a round or two.
But you really don't know in the sport of boxing, because the judges work a little bit different, you know. What we see, the judges may not see.
No, that's very true.
So anything can happen in the sport of boxing.
And also, like, I like to watch a fight both in the monitor and in the ring, whereas judges do not have that ability to see every single punch. Depending on where they are in the ring or on the ring, they might miss a couple things. Well, who knows?
I feel that we need a lot more younger judges, because a lot of older judges is not seeing what we're seeing.
Very true. Would you like to see more fighters become judges, Floyd, because they've been in the ring against and have taken punches? Or does it not matter to you?
I just want to see more judges be fair. Okay. Not be biased. I want to see more fighters be treated fair. Whereas, even like when I was fighting,
И перед тем, как объявить судейское решение, эксперт по трилогиям Антонио Тарвер сказал, что вам в вашем поединке в любом случае нужна трилогия. И чемпионский пояс на одного из вас оденет один из величайших боксеров всех времен, Антонио Тарвер. So, let's listen to the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the judges' scorecards, how about a huge round of applause for both of these warriors here in the ring. Judges David Irving has this contest 78-75, and judges Gary Kironowski has the bout, and Mike Hill has the bout. 76-76, this has been declared a split decision draw. And who retains the belt tonight? Antonio Tarver will place the belt for our current champion, the HBA Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Kурейш Сагов!
Курейш, congratulations. Поздравляю тебя. Курейш, скажу от себя, надеюсь, Али не обидится. Лично мое мнение, вот как зрителя вживую, показалось, что ты бой выиграл. Это мне так показалось. Али, без обид. Я смотрел с одного ракурса, может, я не прав. Но судьи вынесли свой вердикт. Ты в любом случае остался с поясом. И, как сказал Антонио, да, тут, наверное, нужна трилогия после такого поединка.
Независимо от результата, я с Али подерюсь хоть 300 раз, если мне скажете, потому что я только набираю от него опыта. Это сильнейший боксер, когда мне приходилось с кем-либо боксировать. Действительно, он сильный, я набираю только опыта, независимо от результата. И сейчас, и в прошлом бою, независимо от результата, никто своей чести и достоинства не потерял. Мы стали только сильнее. Али, спасибо тебе за бой. Если ты хочешь, я дам тебе еще бой. Договоримся с организацией, время, дата. Сейчас только Рамадан месяц закончится. Тебе нужен этот бой? Тебе нужен.
You won this fight. You won the trilogy. You won this fight. You won this trilogy. We're not discussing now about the decision. We're just discussing about possibility to make the third fight. If you're ready for it, just say yes. If you have to think, just take your time, okay? So guys, thank you for this outstanding battle. It was really crazy. It was fight which will combine our golden collection, honestly. Thank you.